Okay, here's why I like millimeters for small stuff versus big stuff. So I grew up and I know what 6 inches looks like roughly. So there's 6 inches. There's roughly 12 inches. If it's 10 inches, I know that it's somewhere in there. That's 7 inches across. So if I set that down, yeah, it's about, I guess the inside of my finger is 6 inches, so another 12. So, anyways, I have a general idea of what the world looks like in inches and half inches, quarter inches. But when it comes to tiny stuff, I have no familiarity with how big. I mean, I kind of know what an eighth of an inch looks like, but then a quarter and an eighth really aren't that far apart. So when I'm measuring, it's just a lot easier to use millimeters so that I can measure the side of something and I can see it's, let's say 4.20. And if I go across this way, just to figure out the ratio, it's 15.08. So roughly, it's about 1 to about 3 ratio. If you took these sides and stacked them up, they're a little bit less the way that I measured them. I don't think I got it quite accurately. So if I measure the side without the ribs, it's 508. And if I go all the way across, it's 1551. So it's roughly one up that's 1 to 3 across. So if I had a unit or I had a side like this, it would be, use my pointer here, it'd be 1, 2, 3 in terms of how wide this is, and then I can figure out how long it is. And so if I take this and the plan is to blow it up, then what happens is I know what the ratios are going to be. So if I have a big piece of hardboard like this, I know that if I go, let's say, 3 inches is here, 6 inches is here, so we're taking 3 and doubling it, that 1/3 of that, so that would be 2 inches, is how big the edge strip would have to be to create that proportion to make it look like what this looks like. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to measure out carefully in millimeters, and then I'm going to blow up the proportions onto my hardboard here. Okay, to cut the hardboard, I'm just going to use a 7 1/4 inch in case I cut something else. The hardboard, you can cut it with just about anything. It doesn't really matter. But if I end up cutting some OSB for a project, which has some mortar stuff on it, then I will just use this blade. So we are tightened up here. We're unlocked over here, and so we're ready to cut. We'll throw the very not great, but sort of helpful throat plate in here. And so that's the table saw. Let's get rid of the wrench and the measuring tools here.